The 10-gallon planted bedroom tank is quite overrun with algae. So in retrospect, I think using this tank as a grow-out tank for Colombian tetra was a mistake because of all the leftover food that a grow-out tank has. Now I feed these Colombian tetra brine shrimp nupli, and invariably some are going to go into the fluvol stratum and die. There will be some leftover eggshells, or I think they're actually called cysts, from the brine shrimp. And so all those nutrients are really encouraging the algae. So what I'd like to do is remove these dozen Colombian tetra juveniles to the 75 gallon. I believe they'll be fine in there at this stage, and do a major cleanup of the plants. Remove as many leaves that are hopelessly infected with algae, pull as much algae as I can off with a toothbrush, and perhaps try Excel again. I didn't really have much success with that in the past, but I did reduce the photo period by half an hour. I may again cut it back by half an hour soon. And I also put a couple of the plastic pieces, try to get a shot of them here, that are used on the glass canopy. I just laid some old plastic pieces on top of the glass, so that might also reduce the light some. Plants in here are actually pretty much low light plants. I'm not sure about the dwarf Sagittaria and broadleaf Sagittaria. I think they could do with less light. As you can see, they're heavily covered in algae. And also the Java moss. Well, the moss is doing well, but quite a bit of algae in that, so I'll probably give that decoration a haircut, so to speak, and try to remove as much algae as possible. And I see that otocinclus, I'll try to get a better shot here for you. Otocinclus I've learned to go into the shot glass for green beans. I've also been putting a bit of fluvol bug bites in there as well, hoping that they will begin to consume that. I'm not sure if they're actually eating any or the Colombian tetra are eating it all. I was surprised to see the Colombian tetra actually will eat green beans as well. But hopefully soon get them out of this tank and just stick with otocinclus. And with so few leftovers and so little fish waste, perhaps there won't be so much nutrient left over for algae. Here we have the 29-gallon tank in which I was keeping 7 adult female black mollies, but I decided that I need this tank to grow out Colombian tetra. So I sold the mollies to my local pet store, and I soaked the gravel in some bleach water before returning it to this tank. I also put paper towels soaked in vinegar on all four sides of the tank, one at a time, and scrape them with cuttlefish bone. It got some of the lime deposits off the glass. There's still a little bit on the front here, but overall pretty good for a grow out tank. So I'm running two hang on the back filters now, and I have the heater, and I just have the light on the timer, and I'll probably wait at least a week before beginning to take media from other hang on the back filters and putting them in this one, and try to get the nitrogen cycle started over here. The reason I used bleach was to get rid of all the snails, so I'm starting this tank from scratch. The 10-gallon potting soil shrimp tank is actually doing quite well at this point, although there is some green hair algae on some of the plants. Overall, the plants look pretty good. I decided to put a plastic hide in front of the intake of the hang on the back filter with a sponge and the white thermometer over in the corner that looks kind of out of place. And I continue to feed shrimp over here in this corner where I brushed away the gravel, and that works out pretty well. So the cherry shrimp and the Amano shrimp are doing fine.